You better put Hogan over. You
Bro,
better.
the only thing is, honestly, bro, with Hulk, I was reading these comments. Bro, I don't know if he's working or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard for me to say anything because I don't know how long after the incident they did the interview, and I don't know if Hogan's working or not. So it's very difficult for me to comment. Bro,
He kept.
I'll tell you exactly what happened with Hulk, man.
Hmm.
And we've spoken about this. And
Yeah.
again, man, I totally get it. I have no animosity towards Hulk or anything like that whatsoever. This is 1000% what happened and why it went down the way it went down. First of all, in this piece, it's insinuated that I was upset with Hulk because he played his creative control card. That is a lie, bro. Hulk negotiated getting creative control in WCW as he did in TNA. I'm not going to hold that against Hulk Hogan. I mean, my God, WCW gave him creative control. So if Hulk decides to play that creative control card, I'm not going to have any heat with that. That's in the contract. I knew that was in the contract. The only thing that did disappoint me is when I did send the second script to Johnny Ace to get Hulk's approval. Hulk approved the second script. So now I get on the plane and I'm going to Florida, wherever it was, Tampa, I don't even know where it was. And I'm under the assumption that everything's hunky-dory. I find out a couple of hours before the show that Hulk is going to play the creative control card. And I was like, wait a minute, bro. You agreed on the last script. You know, that was the only part of it. The fact that he agreed to it and then 2 hours prior, he's not going to do it. As far as him playing creative control card, I never had a problem with that. He negotiated that in his contract. He had every right to play that card whenever he wanted to. I had no problem with that whatsoever. So everything you saw on television, everything you saw on the pay-per-view, okay, was every single thing that was discussed in that trailer between me, Hulk, and Bischoff. It played out to a T. Now, I used the words to Hulk. I mean, the whole idea was after Jarrett lays down for you, okay, bro, I had to figure out a way to get Hulk out of the building, Hulk and Eric out of the building, so I could go back in the ring and reset everything and make the match between Jarrett and Booker make sense. So that's why we agreed. I said, bro, after Jeff lays down for you, we got to play it like you and Eric are so upset and so bullshit at me that you actually leave the arena. Reason being, you got to be out of the arena when I come my promo, because if you're not out of the arena, you would have to come out and kill me during my promo. Yep. You can't be in the arena when I'm cutting the promo. And bro, what I said to Hulk was, you know, I'm going to cut a scathing promo on you. That was the extent of what I said, because John, every promo I ever cut in my entire career, bro, I didn't rehearse. I cut the promos on the spot. Like, I was always in the moment and I never rehearsed what I was going to say. I didn't write anything down. It was like just, I was really always in the moment. So when I tell them I'm going to cut a scathing promo on you, I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. And he never said, well, what's the promo going to be? I just used the word scathing. Then how we ended the conversation was, bro, since I found out about this change so late in the day, and now I was scrambling to just get this show done. Okay. What I said to Hulk is, because I think there was a Nitro the day after, I said, Hulk, as soon as I'm done with TV, as soon as I get home, I will call you and we will discuss where we go from here. And bro, on my children, my wife, my 92-year-old dad, I will swear to anything. That's exactly what I told them. That was my intention. Because, that night, bro, I just had to get this show done. I could not sit there with Hulk and talk about creative after this. It was like literally, bro, maybe an hour before showtime where we agreed on all this. Okay? So Hulk said, cool, no problem, brother. We were all on the same page. Everything played out according to plan. Now, bro, two things happened after everything was agreed on and Hulk left. Number one, bro, that night and the following day, all over the internet, bro, everybody thought it was a shoot. Everybody thought Russo got over on Hogan. Russo told Hogan what somebody should have said to him years and years ago. It was all over the internet. They 1,000% bought into it.
Yep.
Okay, so now Hulk, who's home in Tampa now, and again, bro, this is between the pay-per-view and the time when I get back to the office, he's reading all this shit. And it really is looking like Russo got over on Hulk Hogan because everybody bought into it. Okay, so now, bro, just like planned, we do the pay-per-view, we do Monday Nitro. I go back to the office on Tuesday. Okay, this is when, not that I'm supposed to call Hulk on that day, but I was supposed to call him when I got back from TV. That was the plan. So that day when I'm in the office in Atlanta, Brad Siegel calls me into the office. And he said, oh, Vince, what happened last night? And I laid out exactly how it happened. And he said, how did you leave it with Hulk? And I said, I told Hulk I would call him when I got back from TV. And Brad Siegel looked at me and said, Vince, you can't call Hulk because I can't afford to put him on TV. So now, bro, you got to understand, this is the head of TBS and TNT. I mean, Brad Siegel was the most powerful man in the company. Brad Siegel is telling me not to call Hulk. Meanwhile, as a man, I gave Hulk my word that I was going to call him. And I had every intention of calling him, bro. It wasn't the end of Hulk Hogan. We just had to figure out creatively where we were going to go. He had the belt. I said that was a bullshit belt. This is going to be the real belt. Of course, the story was going to continue. I didn't know the financial situation WCW was in at the time. That wasn't my wheelhouse. My job was to write the show. So when Brad Siegel says, don't call him because we can't afford to pay him, I listened to Brad Siegel and went against my word. So now Hulk is sitting on two things. He's sitting on everybody bought into this. Everybody believed it. It looks like Russo got one over on me. And on top of that, he's not calling me back like he said he would call me back. That's when I got the letter about the lawsuit. And bro, like I completely 1000% understand all that. I get all that. But like, bro, to this day, when I go back and I look at it, I'm like, bro, when the freaking head of the network is telling you do not call Hogan, are you supposed to go ahead and call Hogan anyway? You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, like a lot of times with situations like this, John, I will look back and say, bro, you should have done this. I can't necessarily say that here. Brad Siegel ran the freaking network, bro. Like in the position I was in, how could I possibly go against what he's telling me not to do? I hated the fact, bro. I hated the fact that I told Hulk I was going to call him, and I didn't because of what Brad said. That really, really bothered me. That's why I get the lawsuit. I understand the lawsuit. I understand why he was upset. But I mean, like I said, bro, when the head of the network is saying, don't call him, it would have been very difficult for me to call him.
Now Hogan says, I think he was talking to Bubba about this on the thing that was unreleased and just came out, but he was saying basically he gets paid when he's working, so he had to reach a certain amount of dates, and I guess Brad Siegel knew that, but he didn't relay that to you that he had to reach a
Maybe.
certain amount of dates and never met the
Not
dates.
all he said to me, bro, was I can't afford to pay him. That's what he said to me. Bro, you got to understand, and a lot of people, they find this so hard to believe, bro, and it really is because of their lack of knowledge in the wrestling business. Bro, I am the writer of the show. I don't know anybody's contract. I don't know how much they're making. I don't know lengths. I don't know, are they getting paid per appearance? I don't know. That's quite frankly, John, that's none of my business. I don't need to know that stuff. I need them to tell me when somebody's contract is coming up, when somebody's contract is expiring, when somebody is not going to be renewed. You know, all that stuff they've got to tell me because that involves the writing. Every time they told me that, I never ask questions because that's not my job. My job is, Vince, here's the roster of the talentees, go write the show. I had no idea, bro. And I don't doubt what he's saying for a reason, for a second. I don't doubt that for a second. I had no idea what was in Hulk's contract other than the creative control clause, because as a writer, I had to know that because I had to send Hulk stuff to approve. So that information I needed to know. I didn't need to know information about how much money he was making and how many dates and all that. That didn't affect my writing of the show.
Do you think you should have called him and told him, hey, Brad Siegel said not to call you, so
No,
maybe you
bro,
want to call Brad
yeah.
Siegel, or no?
Yeah, no, because, bro, then what is he going to do? He's going to call Brad Siegel and say, hey, Vince said that you told him not to call me. No, I mean, of course not, bro. Like I said, bro, I never, ever give my word and don't live up to it. And I had every intention in the world of calling him. We could have done some real interesting TV. I mean, like I said, nowhere in my mind was Hulk done. I mean, that wasn't the intention at all. My whole goal that night was, bro, we all agreed, and it was on paper, that Booker T was beating Jeff for the title. So that whole night, bro, all I wanted to do was play out what was written. Once we did that, now I will worry about where we go from there. And that's where I was going to call Hulk.